Hey, Travis, are you on the fan page for Stand Against Evil yet?
Isn't that the Facebook page?
Yeah, well, either the Facebook page or the Twitter page. It's so easy. I cannot believe you're not on it already. I am so disappointed in you.
That's per usual. That's
Well,
fine.
all right. Well, one more time, I'm going to tell you specifically, and maybe anyone else who's listening on these mics that are now hot. The Stand Against Evil fan page, you can find it at their Facebook page, Stand Against Evil Fan Club, or at the Twitter handle at Stand Against Evil or at Stand Against Evil Fans. It is a great time. They do trivia on the weekends, and you can share your love for Stand Against Evil and just show the people like, hey, I absolutely love Stand Against Evil. Hopefully it'll get more seasons, and I can even share my love even in the future in perpetuity. Hashtag shovels up. But anyway, with that out of the way, hopefully Travis will be able to get his head out of his ass and actually join those fan pages, or he'll miss that opportunity, and then I can remind him and you next week as well.
I'm just going to point out the fact that we have the same Twitter account.
But you get your own Twitter. Travis, get your own bots. Get your own, like, everyone's doing it nowadays. Get your own stand bots and get on that shit. But anyway, with that out of the way, let's get to the show. Whenever you are recording this, just let me know.
I've been recording this entire time. Nixon style. Wow, that doesn't sound as bad anymore when I say it now.
Nixon who?
Oh man, no, you're talking about I love that dude in Futurama.
Right?
Yeah, that guy. All right, so welcome to Pod Against Evil. Oh my goodness. It is season 2, guys. We're halfway through, or actually we're more than halfway through now. Finishing up this episode here. Episode, which one's this one? 4?
5, I think, actually.
No, it's 5, that's right.
We
had
4,
girls'
then I
night.
fucked up.
That'd be really awkward now, wouldn't it?
Girls' night, we had ladies' night. It was fantastic. Now it's guys' night. It's the guys' day to day.
It is.
And who's talking about our guys' day? It's me, Nick, the Merc with a mic, and my fellow apologist,
Travis,
the god of the pod himself. And of course, we can't do a Drinkwater focused episode without Les Weiler. Les,
Hey, it's me.
Les, he's Drinkwater's #1 fan.
Man, okay. I missed an episode. What happened with Drinkwater here? He's not the worst person.
No, we don't know what happened to Drinkwater. He might be possessed.
Les, we have no idea what happened here because, guys, we have to talk about this episode here. This might be one of the funniest episodes of Stand Against Evil.
I think it straight up is. It's one of the funniest episodes I've seen.
It's firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
And guess what, guys? It's Drinkwater focused.
And it's really funny. He's funny.
He is funny. It's not just it that's funny. He's funny. And not in the, like, gross, like, oh my goodness, like, we all laugh at him.
I can't believe a person said that.
He's like, everything out of his mouth in this episode is actually, like, making me chuckle something fierce. It is just frightening, really, is what it is. But let's get to it. What do you say this episode is actually about? I can't get Drinkwater out of my head. Could you describe exactly what this episode is exactly about?
All right. Well, on the one sense, it's about Evie being annoyed that she keeps getting hit on whenever she pulls people over for traffic tickets. But
because that guy was impressive.
Oh man, what a scum! Like, he was so scummy that honestly, I thought you've got to be like a demon or possessed or something. To be, or like a trickster's rolled into town or something like that. Like, cause yeah, man, he laid Skeevy on just in waves.
Like, I'm pretty sure that guy in the beginning of this episode wins MVP just because Drinkwater can't get it this episode.
Yeah, I think that'd be Ryan Davenport, maybe? There's a guy listed in the cast as just Dude.
The Dude.
or it might be Matthew Cornwell. God damn it, I'm not sure.
But anyway, Evie tries to avert suitors by getting herself a ring.
So yeah, she wants to do the fake wedding ring thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And it turns out the ring is cursed, and
like you do.
And hijinks ensue from there. Now you might be thinking, well, that doesn't seem very Drinkwater focused. His name didn't even show up in your synopsis.
Well no. But they do so many weird things. Like he's technically still a secondary character throughout this episode. Like, he doesn't have to show up in the plot synopsis. Like, Evie gets a haunted ring. But he's not just in the backgrounds of scenes, and he's a little, not quite out of character, but he gets a B plot. Or rather, what you think's a B plot, and we'll get there. But yeah, stuff starts to happen with him, and I was sitting there going, "Are we really going to we're staying here? Okay, camera's not cutting away. We're going to stick with Drinkwater for a minute. Where's this going?"
Sticking with him. Yeah, even the IMDb synopsis does mention Drinkwater, though. It says, Evie buys an antique ring and starts dreaming of killing people who turn up dead. Leon also kills a dude.
Yeah, there he is.
That's it. So that's pretty good.
Well, I do want to mention one of the greatest earlier lines on this one was when she went to go get the ring, and the woman's like selling her on it. It's like, oh, this stone symbolizes the lifelong twinning of soulmates. And Evie just goes, I'm very bitter.
Well, I mean, we should get to it, but why don't we just start breaking down the episode bit by bit here?
A lot of bits.
So we start off in, of course, 16, old-timey times. You know, and I really like this opening with this couple, and they speak in what has got to be this great like old-timey speak of like, I have good news, wife. I've repaired the kitchen door. The raccoon will vex us no further. Oh, Silas, you are the most loving of husbands. I feel so safe when you're near. And then, of course, their just cavity-inducing repertoire is interrupted by a falling body.
Like you do.
And it is the constable. Oh, goodness.
His throat has been slitted.
His nose has been slitteth.
Slitteth.
Slitteth. So I was looking it up trying to figure out if it was slitted or slitteth.
I heard it was slitteth.
It was slitteth. I heard slitteth, and that's what I have in the script here.
I think you're right.
That was fun.
Which makes it way funnier, I think.
I think TH is funnier than ED. But that's just me. That's what
I feel like that was probably an actual discussion had in a writer's room of like somebody popped their head in an office and went, quick, what's funnier, ED or TH?
It's like TH, of course. Duh.
Yeah, what are you talking about? Don't ever bother me with that again.
Flingers for lunch? Yeah.
Yeah. So
no onion rings.
We see a ominous woman in a what do you call it? A veil.
Yeah, like a widow's veil.
Mm-hmm. Reminds me of that movie with Daniel Radcliffe, Woman in Black.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what we're looking at here. I was looking. I'm like, oh, okay, cool crossover. We switch back over to modern times, and Evie and Stan are driving along in the car. At first, like, did anyone else think they were just patrolling together?
I don't know what Stan ever does.
Sure.
Yeah. No, but I did the same thing. It took a minute to realize, like, you don't work here.
Right. Like, it took me a minute to figure out, like, oh, that's right. He doesn't work for the cops anymore. Like, actually took me a second to actually remember that.
He was going to tell him no, though.
No, yeah. Evie's just giving him a ride, is what's going on. Mm-hmm. And he would drive himself, except that his car is full of crows.
Baby crows.
Baby crows. A mama crow is nested in there.
Yes. Denise leaves the windows open, and crows get in and nest, and now he can't drive the car again until the eggs hatch, because Denise won't let him shoo them out.
And so they have a great conversation about that. They talk about the alcohol policy in the squad car. Evie says there's no alcohol in the squad car. And
when's that a rule?
Mister, let me ask you a personal question. What is with the no alcohol in the squad car policy? When exactly did that start?
I don't know, since the beginning of squad cars.
Yeah, and then they pull over Matthew Cornwell, who actually in other photos looks like a perfectly nice human being. Man, does he lay it on
just
thick.
Today.
Well, I also love Stan's rationale for drinking while trying to catch drunk drivers.
Oh, yeah.
You're out here trying to nail drunk people. You want to get them, you got to be them. You got to get right in their skin.
Like, this just makes me terrified about his overall crime policy. Like, how does he hunt down murderers?
I mean, we already know he, like, sprayed down old people, so...
And homeless, yeah. Oh, God.
And so, since Stan is thinking like a misogynist as well, we catch a misogynist. I think that's how it translates. Because we do find our man here, who I do believe is credited as just dude or dude in
or
car
driver. Yeah,
driver. I think.
And he starts to proceed to hit on Evie. I am so sorry, guys. I'm sick today, so if I'm getting a tickle in my throat, that's where it's coming from. And yeah, I'm not as sick as this guy though, because he's talking about being aggressive and assertive. Like being pulled over and hitting on the cop that's pulling you over has got to be one of the guaranteed ways of getting yourself a ticket.
Know why I stopped you?
Because I'm good looking.
You were speeding.
To be fair, like that one was like, okay, that was kind of funny. Like that could have been played off as a joke, and I'm like, well, maybe he's just trying to be funny more than anything else.
Maybe he's doing it nervously, but
no.
Either way, like read the room, like rein it in here, man.
Yeah. So he's like, oh, I have an idea. Let's meet for drinks. To which Evie responds,
I have an idea too. There'd be too many witnesses.
I like that line.
That's like, oh, damn.
It's immediately like, oh, how about I murder you instead?
So that's a yes. And she gives him the guy the ticket and goes back to Stan and like, oh, man, can you believe that guy hit on me? In which Stan is not very helpful.
Oh, boy. His lines are pretty sexist.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, his exact line here is,
Well, it's your own fault, you know.
My fault.
Clean hair, good gums, you're outside, you're sending all the signals.
What does that even mean?
You're breathing, so yeah, it's clearly your fault for being dressed that way, like a live body, like a human.
That's really gross.
Yeah.
Like, really fucking gross.
so Stan tells Evie his trick to never get hit on, which surprisingly isn't just being unbelievably aggressive and kind of a jerk, but actually, like, apparently it was the wedding ring he thinks is responsible. It's like, I let everybody know that I was unavailable. So that's where Evie gets the idea, and she goes to a pawn shop, I want to say, some sort of
Yeah, it looked like something like that.
or antique shop or something like that. And she talks to the shop owner, played by Patty McCormick, and she brings out a an engagement ring. Well, first Evie asks for one.
Do you have any wedding rings? Something to make me look married or less unmarried, something like that.
Isn't that something your fiancé should be buying for you, dear?
Yeah, no, he would be if I had one, but I am divorced. Thank God. No, I just need to look married. I mean, I get hit on constantly. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. You probably, when you were... So do you have anything?
I mean, I've had a couple of women in my life that have done the wedding ring. Like, friends of mine have told me about doing the wedding ring thing, like, straight up for that reason. Like, being in a bar and looking around and seeing somebody looking at you from across the room and like, I'm going to put my hands behind my back and move this ring over to this hand. And do this. And the problem is that it only stops, like, a certain portion of creep.
Yeah, that's not surprising,
But
actually.
like, past a line... That Venn diagram of like assholes you're trying to stop with a wedding ring and assholes who don't care that you're wearing a wedding ring are very much the same circle.
There's just it's just you're thinning the herd, but not by a significant margin, I guess.
Yeah, it's not like it's not Bilbo putting on the fucking ring, but like there's still a portion of golems that are like precious.
Oh boy! So what are you doing? So what are you doing tonight? I'm getting married. So what are you doing later?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, that's exactly.
But yeah, she goes out. Like the shopkeeper goes out and gets a ring. She tells her that the stone symbolizes lifelong entwining of soulmates. To which Evie responds in Travis's favorite quote, which was.
I'm very bitter.
God, just the way she's like, the immediate laughter was great.
It's all these tiny little moments in this episode that keep the kind of joke per minute rate like really popping and make it. I was just sitting there going, God, I hope y'all have another season. Like this is, y'all have really found your stride. Like, this show is really on fire right now at this episode, I feel like.
I'm telling you guys, season 2 has really upped their game to a point where I'm like, this show is just really, really impressing me episode after episode. And yeah, this is just another example of it. We find that Evie doesn't even have to pay for the ring. She's like, oh, no, I could. Oh, wait, oh, you're putting it on me already. Okay.
Which, I mean, two things wrong with that.
Don't pay for it. Like, it's like, oh, don't even think about it. Like, just take it. And I don't forget if she says something ominous. I think she just like lets her have it. I don't think
the thing is, she mentions the fact that she wants to help like the sheriff. It's like, and he was like, oh, well, in that case, I'll take it. I'm like,
anything
you don't
for
know
the
what
sheriff.
town you're fucking sheriff of?
Yeah, I know. And it's kind of like, yeah, you just want to go one of two things. Well, one, I mean, you are a cop. You shouldn't be accepting gifts of any monetary value while you're on duty anyway. But two, and I feel like this is the important part of it, is that you live in a town with the sheriff's position is cursed by a bunch of fucking witches. So if any, old woman kind of says something ominous or something and then mentions the sheriff thing, like mentions your job title by name, I would get immediately suspicious, but that's just me.
I do like that the Monster of the Week format for the show has morphed from the kind of the original, like, I'm blanking on his name, the
Constable
Eccles, yes, that was actually leading the whole witch thing and killing off the sheriffs and all. Like, that it's really firmly now like monsters that are kind of still dealing out from their deal with him from killing a sheriff. Like, we'll get to it later, but like, there's an Eccles tie-in here, but it's very much the Monster of the Week is this cursed ring and its victim person.
Yeah, we also got to mention last week with Jeffrey Combs as well of Constable Eccles, in that the Monster of the Week thing now is that we get a little bit of an origin story from everybody. Jeffrey Combs' character had, like, I was like, oh, he caught me as being a con man or whatever, and burned me to the stake. And this one, we get the reveal later that she also had a run-in with Eccles before her cursed witch state as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes their Monster of the Week thing a little more interesting.
Yeah, I like that they changed formats, but it still has this nice link to their kind of original story.
Yeah,
sure. Well, I mean, it doesn't change the premise of the show where the witches are still attacking them, but now they have a distinct reason for doing so, and kind of more of a backstory as to their reasoning and why they are like evil and kind of cursed the way they are.
I think it's part of what's making the show feel like it has a really firm, like, established kind of sandbox to play in, like, which I think adds to that sure-footedness of how I feel about this season.
And yeah, so Evie, I'm trying to figure out where we back were. Oh yeah, Evie does not take our advice at all.
We were screaming at the screen the whole time.
We always yell at the screen when me and Travis watch, but she, for whatever reason, never seems to hear us.
Man.
And she goes home, takes has a lovely sleep, except for the fact that she is having dreams now. She dreams about the guy she pulled over getting killed by having his throat slit, and it is very very graphic. And she wakes up mid nightmare as he gets his throat slit, and she gets a call right after she wakes up from, I can only assume it must be Leon. It must be Leon Drinkwater, because we don't hear the other end of the phone call. All we hear is this garbled, high pitched
Peanuts noise.
Well, yeah. I mean, even the Peanuts noise is more of a low.
Yeah, it's not like trombone wah, like it. It's this like gibberish, like hysterical, like.
Yeah. Hey, Leon. Really? Okay, I'll be right there.
Oh my god! I rewound it back of like, when did they start doing that for the other end of phone calls? And she clearly understands everything he's saying. Yeah. Leon, calm down.
I have not seen that used in, I want to say, the better part of a decade. No, even before then, probably. It's
I
just,
had a minute of like, have they always done this with the phone calls on this show? I don't think so.
nope.
That's why it's so weird.
And I'm trying to remember like the last like time I saw this, and it's like it's got to have been on a 80s sitcom of something, right?
Probably.
And like I don't even know, like
A Saturday morning cartoon or something. It's great. I'd love to know, like, did they make that Foley or did they get it from somewhere?
But God, I love it. It is very funny. She does end up going to the scene of the crime here because there's been a murder. Leon shows up. This is our first meeting of Leon in the episode, and he starts strong, guys, because he wanted to wait for Evie to tip over the body. And why is that?
Oh, so great.
I waited for you to turn him over in case it's somebody I knew in high school and I hated him and start laughing.
Thanks.
I mean, to be fair, same.
The delivery of this is great. Nate Mooney is doing a great job in this episode. Like he's hitting his points. His dialogue is punchy. He's in and out, and he doesn't really stay. Doesn't
linger. No,
he doesn't like as much as he's in the episode. He actually, drops in and then comes out. And he's like I don't know, like he's Muhammad Ali, like just sticking and moving. But he doesn't stay in one place long enough to be like super creepy.
No, he does not overstay his welcome, and I think that might be the secret to Drinkwater.
Yeah. He does similar stuff in the Werepony one, where he pops in with this side plot of like just showing up with the dude, but he's still super creepy. There's a weird tone difference here. Like I want to know what his game is because like the onion ring offer. When he's like, hey, if I went and got, while you look at that body and do fingerprints, if I go and get onion rings, do you want some?
Would you want any?
And then he's super insistent. Like, Evie, come on, pay attention, onion rings.
Evie, onion rings. Onion rings. And yeah,
it's actually very archerish now that I think about it.
Well, yeah, and then he goes to get him, and he's like, and then suddenly he realizes like, shit, I don't have any money. Do you have some money for your onion rings? And it's, I don't know, like there's nothing like it's playing up Drinkwater's like incompetence more than anything else.
Yeah, I mean we've always known he was incompetent. That's nothing new.
Well, yeah, but that it's more he's more charming this way than say negotiating Russian mail order brides over on the other end of the phone.
It was enough so that I wondered if the ring made her like attractive to everybody. Does like Drinkwater have a crush on her? Like I was kind of a little afraid that the episode was going to reveal that like he loves her now and wants to be with her or something, because he was.
Oh, okay.
I was like, you're being nice. What's the game here?
Yeah, I mean, it is sad that our version of Drinkwater being nice is asking if she wants onion rings.
and then asking her to pay for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's low bar.
While you do your job.
Yeah. You do my job.
Yeah, while you do my job, let me run and get onion rings you buy.
Well, Evie has a little bit more on her mind to worry about than onion rings because the man on the ground is, he's dead via a throat slit, and she recognizes him to be the man from not only her dream, but the one she, stopped.
The douchebag in the car.
Yeah, the douchebag in the car is like, oh shit, that's probably not good. She goes to stand to talk about it. And guys, I mean, we're in season 2. It's episode 5. Why does she even bother?
Because it's hilarious.
I mean, like, I get that he's also like one of the only people that knows about the whole witch's curse thing, but like every time she's surprised that he's unhelpful, and I just feel like every time she thinks like maybe this time will be the time that Stan helps me out.
Surprise! It's not.
Not this time. Maybe next time, Evie. So he doesn't even want to talk to her at first because what is he watching? He's watching.
I just don't remember this time.
One of the greatest motion pictures of the past 200 years, which is Ice Station Zebra, starring Rock Hudson.
That's a real man's man there.
That's a man's man. Not like these actors today. You tell Rock Hudson to go on a juice cleanse, he'd eat a dog in front of you.
Which also I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
A few years ago, the Paramount Theater here in Austin during the summer does like classic movies, and they'll do like double features. And they did a double feature of Doris Day movies, and I went on a date. And it was fucking hysterical, and I'd never seen those movies like with a crowded theater or anything, but one of them, Rock Hudson's the romantic lead. And in it, they have this running gag where he keeps walking into his hotel with like a girl in each arm, and there's these two like sad sack salesmen that are having their coffee. And so like 3 times in the movie, they see him and go, "What a man. He's always got this girl in his arm," you know, like they're 3 different times. And then in the like towards the finale of the movie, Doris Day strands him on a beach and steals his clothes. And he has to basically hitchhike naked back into the city. And so like morning rush hour the next morning, these 2 sad sack salesmen are sitting in the foyer of the hotel having coffee, and he comes walking in having hitched a ride back on a fur truck. And so it's naked Rock Hudson with like a short fur coat on.
All right.
And he comes walking through the thing, and the 2 salesmen, one of them looks at the other one and goes, "I'd have never guessed him." And the whole fucking theater lost it. Like, I'd never heard like a few hundred people like crack up at that particular like, "Oh, that's right, shit." Back then, nobody knew Rock Hudson was gay then. Like, nobody. And then, just as the theater quieted down, the couple in front of me, the girl looks at her boyfriend and goes, "I don't get it."
I don't get it.
And the center of the theater fucking roared again, because he had, like, he looked at her and was like, "Rock Hudson's gay." But yeah, it just rang out in the theater. Like, it was literally just as everybody quieted down, we heard this, "I don't get it."
That's fantastic.
Oh man, only in Austin, right? But yeah, that is a great story.
So all I was thinking was like, "Oh shit, somebody's gonna have to break this to Stan."
Yeah, I know. Like that's, you know what? We'll let him live the dream. I mean, we've already ruined Starsky and Hutch for him, so we gotta leave him. We should leave him Rock Hudson.
Well, I think is this the moment when Denise walks in with her crow blanket?
No, it's not cool. It's not cool that I'm killing people in my sleep. It's horrible.
No, I meant this baby crow blanket. I'm gonna go take it out to the car to the mama crow. Caca, 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 caca.
And I love like Stan's face on this one too, of just like, yeah, Jesus, all right, I'm getting it from both ears today.
Well, because Stan's solution to Evie's problem is, just go to sleep, but kills anybody except me and Denise. Problem solved. Well, don't kill us. And then Denise does the crow blanket thing. He's like, "You know what? Don't worry about Denise. Just don't kill me."
Yeah, don't worry about it. So I do like his solution.
Do what I do when I'm facing a troubling situation. A, do not think about it, and B, gun about a case of brews. All the best.
And I think he hands her a beer even, and is like, "All the best." So, yeah, surprisingly unhelpful.
Yeah, so surprising.
Anyway, we cut back to the sheriff's station with Drinkwater, and he's having his own troubles because a woman comes in.
Excuse me, Sheriff. I need a restraining order.
I don't even know you.
which is a great line from Drinkwater. Like, it's just like it's
immediate reaction.
It's just funny, and it's for whatever reason, like it's funnier because I'm not even thinking about that. But then like Drinkwater brings it back, like, "Oh fuck yeah, he probably has a problem with that."
It's odd enough the fact that he makes everything about himself was the funny part of this episode.
Yeah.
Well, and I love that he is thinking about it, because, like, that's step 5 of my female interactions. Like, we're on step 1. Like, you're early.
You're jumping ahead.
Come on, man. Get to know me
I'm
before
familiar
you file
with
a
this
restraining
sentence,
order against me.
But yeah, we are early.
So, yeah, it's not for her. It's not for Drinkwater. It's for her boyfriend. Mm-hmm. He threatened, and then she starts with this line of, "He threatened to beat up my dad." Because, and she doesn't finish, because this guy comes in and actually is like, "You!" And so I was like, "Oh, wow, he did threaten to beat up her dad." Like, it seemed like it was a longer story going in. Did he come in early or something?
I'm not sure.
Like, that was...
It kind of felt a little out of place, but...
But yeah, Drinkwater stands up to this guy, actually.
Surprisingly.
Well, he jumps right into action. You let go of her right now, he says.
You don't have to do this. He's a child.
Well, don't you worry. This won't be the first child I've sent to the hospital.
Which is just great. Like it's so terrible, but yet so funny. Like he's Drinkwater. You're making me smile today. I'm into it. I'm all Drinkwater this episode. And if that isn't bad enough, he gets beat up in the most ridiculous fucking way. That is.
Like the guy's punches keep knocking him back into frame. Like it's like a Popeye fight or something. Yeah, and like that Drinkwater finally gets not even fists, but like open hands, like a surgeon washing his hands. He finally like into almost like old boxing rules.
Sure.
Like as he falls. Like he the only time he even gets his hands in front of his friggin' face are like as he's going backwards.
And they keep like it looks like they're sliding Drinkwater side to side into the frame via a trolley. Like it's really
Probably how
funny.
they're doing it, actually.
Yeah, he almost looks
then,
like the little plastic toys you get with the base where you press the bottom of it and like the guy dances around.
Sure, yeah, that he goes limp or whatever. Yeah. And don't worry though, our guy before he can kill Drinkwater with his bare hands has a heart attack and dies. Like immediately.
He kicked my ass
God.
to death.
Oh my god, you saved me. And yeah, he has to call up Evie.
Hey, what's up, Leon?
I just killed a guy.
What?
We were fighting and he had a heart attack. He kicked my ass to death.
But he doesn't
Which
get the
might-
girl right then because she's in mourning. He has to wait an hour and call her. It's like eating before you swim, I guess.
And he's not the one to say that. She's the one that's like,
Yes.
no, not now. I'm in mourning. Call me in an hour. And I'm like, and you got to figure like Drinkwater must have Dreamweaver playing in his mind right now.
I'm kind of surprised Dreamweaver didn't play on the show, honestly.
Yes.
It's like you can't tell me that he didn't hear that line come out of her mouth and was like, oh, I've met my soulmate.
Yes, she's the one.
And yeah, he proceeds to call Evie, and it's like I do love that they both think they have killed somebody, which is great.
Well, I mean, Drinkwater knows whether he killed someone or not. He just puts it in a weird way.
And I love that Stan is like, wait, Leon killed someone too? Pff, Mr. Bandwagon.
Wait, when
It's
you
like-
say two, do you mean also? You killed someone?
It's a little bonding moment.
Yeah.
Weirdly
Does this
enough.
bring us closer?
Yeah, it's just nice having a buddy who's on the same page.
That's right. That's how he puts
If that's
it.
what you can call it.
So Evie is afraid to go to sleep because she's worried she's going to murder more people in her sleep. And
But things happen for a reason, Nick. And so
Yeah.
she needs a buddy to keep her awake.
And it's
Yep.
Stan, right? Because that would be the one you would pick out of anyone in this cast.
look, if I would have picked someone to keep me awake constantly, it probably would be Stan out of this cast.
Right.
Because you figure he might get a jolt out of poking me with
Yeah.
whatever it is to like keep me awake or annoying me.
I'm a little
or
surprised he
something.
didn't jump at the chance to get to do a job that annoying. But
Yeah. But no, he's not interested, unfortunately. Denise has to pick up the slack there.
Yeah.
But it works out because the pain from her face is going to keep her awake for days anyway. Because apparently pregnancy hormones are like bath salts to mama crows. She just comes in just poked all the fuck.
And she's like, okay, yeah. She's like, she's all crow battle damaged.
Crow battle.
Just fucking amazing. It's like,
People laugh, man, but corvids are fucking terrifying. And if they ever team up with cephalopods, we are doomed.
me.
The Corvid Cephalopod Alliance is not a joke.
Of course, why we would never laugh about
Never,
that.
yeah, they're. You don't want to be on record laughing at them.
So that is great. I can't imagine this plan going wrong at all.
Nah, it's fine.
Feels like it's bulletproof. But let's see what happens anyway.
It goes about as well as you expect.
They're gonna try to watch a movie.
Or Evie wants to watch a movie? I don't think...
Well, she's just
Something
going to let
else-
Denise pick a movie, but there's a wonderful Denise misunderstanding here.
So I don't understand this because I think she does say if you want to pick the first movie, go for it.
Yep.
So it's not like she misspoke and said like
I don't see a way of misunderstanding that.
Yeah.
So like saying like, oh, what's the movie we're doing tonight or something?
Yeah.
Or like, putting a clever, like she does say like pick a movie. So I'm not sure what, maybe she heard pitch instead, because Denise proceeds to pitch an entire movie to her.
Well, she just describes all of Blue Velvet.
Oh, does she? Oh, I thought she was picking. She's actually just doing a pantomime of Blue Velvet.
She just jumps up and charade pantomimes the entirety of Blue Velvet.
Hey, if you want to pick the first movie, go right ahead.
Got it. The screen's black. Then the words come up. Welcome to General Cinemas.
I don't think that makes more.
funny.
I don't think that makes more sense. That makes
But
less
at least,
sense.
or at least, like when they cut back, she's doing the Dennis Hopper shoe lipstick scene.
Then Dennis Hopper puts lipstick all over his lips.
You know what? I'm gonna stop you. Hold that thought. I'm just gonna grab some coffee.
And by the time she comes back, Denise is passed out. She's asleep.
So apparently that pain was not very important at all.
Well, I mean, if you try reciting and pantomiming all of Blue Velvet, it's tiring. It's really...
Yeah, but you also never gotten your face attacked by a crow.
That's true.
So, oh boy, Evie tries her best to stay awake, but unfortunately, no matter what happens, she's still victim to the montage. So, nothing's more tiring than a montage of trying to stay awake. So, she ends up falling asleep. She dreams of walking through a hallway, and then we see her open a door and go to a bed, and holy shit, it's Stan! Oh no! And she she wakes up out of it and calls Stan to try and warn him, like, hey, I just dreamed about killing you. Which I love. Stan's like, oh, just go away. Like, don't tell me what, like, I'm surprised there wasn't a misogynist line of like, oh, women always want to tell you about their dreams and all how they mean shit.
Yeah.
But
Stan's just too tired.
And yeah, so she does save Stan because the woman kind of runs off, which I thought like she would only be corporeal or like have form if Evie was dreaming her, but apparently she's...
Yeah, it seems really weird.
It kind of cracked me up when I went, oh shit, no, you're a physical person. Like, yeah. Because Stan watches her run out the backyard, basically.
So, are we to assume that she's just seeing visions of the murders and that she's seeing through the eyes of the killer?
Because if that's the case, it'd be really dumb for someone to give her that ring.
Well, no, that's what the woman at the thing says later, that she gave her that ring when it was because of Evie's comment about how stupid souls and love and marriage and all that was. She wanted her to see through the eyes of a person who wanted it but couldn't have it. And so it sounded like there was something to do with like the intention of the old woman giving Evie the ring that like kind of specified the curse of like you're cursed to watch me kill people who
are important to you
or who love you, or who like, because like you don't care about this, you don't appreciate your gift, but I'm going to make you appreciate it by killing them. Of course, she gets it wrong. Like that dude just hits on Evie and is a scumbag. And Evie doesn't really recognize necessarily the love and Stan doesn't recognize the love he has for Evie. But yeah, that part of the specificity of the curse of her looking through her eyes, I think was part of the intention of the old woman.
Right, that does make sense. But we got to look through another creature's eyes here. We're seeing Drinkwater in a whole new light today, because in the next scene, he has a cute flirtation with his new girlfriend, because he's talking on the phone. And he's like, "What am I wearing? My work uniform. What are you wearing?" And I am so used to Drinkwater saying gross stuff on the phone, of like disco thermometers or
just things you can barely even catch at times.
Yeah, so
fast.
like I was just expecting to go back and listen to it. Like, hey, was that like did he say something weird inside?
Was that innuendo?
It's like, no, it's just a cute little flirtation between him and his new girlfriend. So like, there's that. That's nice. The lab has got back to them though. Apparently, the fingerprints on the victim were not Evie's. But they couldn't find anything in the database either because these fingerprints are not on file. They found a long gray hair on the jacket, though, which...
What was at the end of the hair?
Mm-hmm. And guess what was the end of that hair? In which Leon guesses stuff, which I'm not sure where his thought process is, but he guesses stuff like saltwater taffy.
Yeah, that was like the first one, wasn't it? Just like saltwater taffy.
Well, at first I thought like, oh, because that's what old people eat, and then gray hair equals old people. Like, I thought that was his track.
No, he's just guessing random shit.
But then he's like, paper clips, chewing tobacco. Like, it's like motor oil.
Why am I letting you guess?
Or was this actually stuff he had one time found at the end of a hair?
Are these things that Drinkwater's had in his hair? Yeah, what what has happened here?
No. What's at the end of that hair is necrotic flesh. So it turns out a dead person is the one doing the murdering.
Oh, so we're looking for a dead female who pushes people off of roofs and may or may not work at Jiffy Lube.
Oh, great detective work, Drinkwater. Really impressive. And then he says something about she should be easy to find.
She'd be easy to find if we had night vision goggles and a helicopter, but not with our state budget. It's all wasted on food banks and after-school programs.
Yeah, and they don't get any of that sweet helicopter money.
So there's a little bit of that old Drinkwater seeping in there.
Yeah, a little bit. No one can be perfect.
And then we also get the autopsy on the guy that Drinkwater killed via ass kicking to death, reverse ass kick. I don't know. He had the heart attack, and apparently he had already been dead for a month. They exhumed his grave, and it was empty.
Leon got his ass kicked by a zombie.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I like this line, too.
I re-killed a dead guy?
Which is just a great line that you can only hear from shows like Stand Against Evil.
I really can't believe they didn't manage that line during the Jeffrey Combs episode.
I mean, it just been like the little Reanimator reference would have been fun. I forget how they find... Oh, yes. They look through the records for any sheriffs that got killed by getting pushed off the roof. Because... once Evie realizes that it must be dealing with dead people and there's weird shit going on, like, oh, okay, it's got to deal with the curse.
Mm-hmm.
And if I
now
know
she's got that brainwave going on.
And so this is one where they don't go, like, I realized that they've been using, what's her name, Claire's Buffy room less and less.
Yeah, it's true.
They've been relying on it, on the whole, her knowledge about, like, the books and stuff less and less in these episodes. On one level that, like, it's kind of like a disconnect from the mythology of the show, but on one level I kind of like it because it lets them fix problems with their own resources and kind of resourcefulness.
Yeah, I kind of like the confidence of letting go of that a little.
Mm-hmm. So they do find what they're looking for because they find a picture of a woman who was engaged to be married to one of the constables, but then murdered him via roof shoving. And it turns out it looks just like Leon Drinkwater's new girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's purely coincidence.
You could even say she's a dead ringer.
Yes.
Get it?
Yeah, No, okay, fine, whatever. It's just tough room. I dug it. I thought it was good. But Evie even starts going, like, you're already calling her your girlfriend? See, this is the thing, you always rush into stuff.
Well, because she asked him, like, well, where does she live? I don't know. But you're already calling your
Yeah.
But what's Drinkwater's line back? Like, I don't rush into things.
No, maybe I just go slow, faster than you do.
That's right. That. So they go to the old woman at the antique store.
Well, first he has to put on his action pants.
Activate action pants.
Oh, fuck, I lost it when he yelled action pants.
And yeah, he wants to throw on the siren or whatever. It's like it's like a block down, like it's like one street over or something. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I got this. It's like, okay, I'm gonna meet you there.
And Evie just walks out when he's running.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's on her phone walking around the corner, and he comes, like, peeling around like the Sabotage video.
Yeah, and I love this, of just, like, him jumping up and then Evie having this casual conversation on the phone. Because Drinkwater is, like, all action, and he's like, he's going to bust open the door, he can't get it open, he's going to shoot the lock off, and then Evie just kind of walks in.
Like, she's not even concerned with the fact that he has a loaded gun out. She's like, yeah, whatever.
Drinkwater.
Like, nothing is registering for Evie at this point of just Drinkwater's antics. I don't know. Like, this whole thing is just super funny. Nate Mooney giving a great, like, physical performance of just this over elaborate car chase and battery ram. I'm surprised he didn't get a battering ram from the backseat of the car or something.
But of course, who is Evie calling? Because this is who you would definitely call in this situation.
Well, I mean, you do want to let Stan in on it, like if only just to catch him up on stuff, considering he's involved directly in the curse anyway. I mean, you might want to give him the heads up. And yeah, so he's like, all right, I can get there. It's fine. I'll just drive the crow car.
Listen to me. Either pipe down or I'm gonna throw a cat back there. How you like that?
See the inside of the antique store. The woman is there, and I see where they show the picture of like, hey, do you know anything about this? It turns out like this ring is really weird. Do you know anything about this picture?
And that woman standing behind her? I totally tongue-darted her yesterday.
Yeah, and if you want to do it again, you'll shave that mustache.
Say what?
Yeah. So Travis, this was interesting for Travis. Travis didn't quite realize that.
I didn't quite catch this the first time around.
Yeah, because this is the only dialogue really referencing that she is the younger woman as well.
Yeah.
That they're one and the same.
And like now, when I thought back to it, I'm like, oh yeah, it makes sense about the whole zombie boyfriend thing. Like, yeah, I get it.
And yeah, she's and also their hairstyle is kind of different, and she does kind of look like a younger version of that of said woman. And
well, since there's only ever like 5 people in the town, I just kind of assumed like, oh, other new girl is definitely same as, but yeah, it wasn't laid down very strongly.
They didn't spell it out, that's for sure.
And yes, I love the whole like she's not. No one seems to be digging on the mustache Drinkwater.
Oh, it's a mustache.
Doesn't seem to really be helping out your cause there with the ladies.
He needs to get himself some big, strong sideburns.
So she proceeds to go into her backstory of, that woman in the photo and me, that we were one and the same. Years ago, I was Constable Pruitt's mistress, and he promised to leave his wife for me, and then he didn't. I couldn't steal him, but I could steal this, referring to the ring. I wanted to make him dead, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. But then, who should come along but Constable Eccles?
Convenient.
Oh boy, that guy. If there's ever a person that needs a little push into becoming evil, Constable Eccles is there. Like some sort of malevolent fucking fairy. And yeah, I think, what was the deal again? She says, I would stay young and beautiful until I find myself a new sheriff to wed.
Right. It's oddly specific.
And then that grew tiresome. Oh, so very tiresome. And she looks like she gives like a little look at Drinkwater, like, ugh. And yeah, and eventually I stopped looking. And it's been over almost 200 years. And
so it seems like she aged into a crone, or kind of aged naturally into an older woman, as long as she wasn't actively looking.
Yeah,
and that she became like, so she turned young and beautiful, like when she was out trying to get a date or trying to find a husband, because that seems like a wildly convenient youth serum. Like,
so
I get hot when I'm out on dates. That's
well, it's like that woman in Misfits who looks like a young 20-year-old until she orgasms.
Yes. I forgot about that. Man, Misfits is great. I think they're going to remake that for the U.S., which is maybe not a great idea.
Oh, I don't know, but again, I do like that show. But so the logic here of like, wait a minute. So you get to say young and beautiful and forever, but only when you're actively looking for a husband, but then you'll age to a certain point, kind of. And it's kind of like, to me, of like,
how does this curse actually work?
Well, then how does, like, an old man Logan of like, oh, wait a minute, how does Wolverine age or whatever? Of like, I mean, I guess because he doesn't use his healing factor a while, it just starts to like not you know,
It's like a muscle. You have to keep using it.
and it's like, wait a minute, like, and it's kind of like, don't think about it that hard.
Yeah. But I think that's part of the reason why I missed it the first time around, because it's so random.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish the curse had been a little clearer, but...
Yeah, but don't worry about that. Apparently they're confused as well, but that's not what's on Drinkwater's mind. He asks of, like, what do you think about the mustache?
I have
it's like, we all
several
hate
questions.
it. We all hate it, Leon. And I do love that, like, that's, like, Evie's like, that's your only question? I'm like, no, Evie, you are in the wrong on this one. This mustache thing must be taken care of.
It's a fucking pedo stash. Like, it just needs to
It's
go.
porn stash.
It's gotten to the point where it's affecting our job performance now. Like, we're getting distracted talking about it and not being able to catch the demon. It has to go. Like,
Serious issues at stake.
Like, I think we have to have a zero tolerance for facial hair on the Drinkwater front.
Now, does she lead
sideburns.
them straight from the antique store, like, basically into, like, a ceremonial, like, ritual room to kill them?
Yeah, like, it looked like it was just upstairs, right?
Yeah.
Like, it was up. Yeah, it was up the stairs.
Like, she vanished, and then they found her upstairs.
Like,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah,
why
yeah.
don't we just pop back into my murder room? Come on.
Didn't we see Stan coming?
yeah, like, he's driving around in the crow car.
Yeah, that's right. In the crow, you can actually see some of the crows in the back of this back seat, which is really funny.
Speak in the air. Oh, that better not be your... No, it's your foot.
Like
They
these,
actually
like,
do a
little
really good job with the fake birds here.
And it's like, listen to me. You either pipe down or I'm going to throw a cat back there. Yeah, so he's busy doing that. And we see Evie and Drinkwater are checking the upstairs. I forget what the actual sequence of events is here, because they find her. Oh yeah, that's right. They find her. And she says the line, "It's time to end this nightmare," in which Evie takes it to mean that she's going to kill herself.
It's time to end this nightmare.
Killing herself is not the answer.
I'm not going to kill myself. I meant it's time to kill you.
That tracks.
Like, that makes sense. Like that.
Makes
And
way more sense.
I do love that, like, Evie, like, why would Evie stop her from committing suicide? That only works for benefit. We got to get rid of all these witches.
Well,
I mean-
Evie's tone of voice in saying it, like, even sounds like a very, like...
No, don't do
like,
it, please.
No, please stop. And then, looks over like, I've done the
Yeah.
right thing, see?
It is the Willy Wonka with the Augustus Gloop
Yes,
going
like,
towards the
no,
chocolate of,
be
like,
careful.
Stop, don't come back.
So Evie ends up getting captured because I think they try and shoot her or something,
Well,
and
Like, they
she-
try to run away, and she pops, like, she vanishes and reappears behind Evie.
Right.
Which it is the drop on Evie, but I am thrilled that Evie does not get knocked unconscious this episode.
Nope.
hey, there's something to look forward to. I love that Leon's response is, of course, like,
I got her, Evie, even if I have to shoot through you to get her.
Okay, I don't think we're there yet.
I don't think things have escalated to that point.
But Evie's quick thinking is that if we clear the curse, you'll stop being young and you'll die, which is a fair bet.
Yeah, so she goes like, wait, Leon can marry you.
I'm a sheriff. I can do the marriage. What was it? Yeah, he's just a deputy. Oh, really? You can't settle?
I love just like Drinkwater's like, what? Shut up! You're doing it.
Like, she just makes the decision for him.
Yeah, that was another moment as good as the laughing and then I'm so bitter. Like it from Janet Varney of like, oh, this show is really hitting all of its steps here.
I mean, I could even do the ceremony right here, right now.
Well, you just said I always rush into things.
Read the room.
Janet Varney is really pulling her weight in this scene, and like she's been doing some good stuff this episode too. It's just surprising that Drinkwater has like stolen. Like Drinkwater gets so many of the best lines of this episode that everyone else kind of falls back to the wayside, and Stan is barely in this.
No, he comes in mostly at the end for the clinch.
Yeah.
Well, it's weird how often that does happen with Stan. It hasn't happened in the last couple episodes.
I almost felt like when she called him in the crow car to tell him what was going on, I was like, yeah, Edie has a pretty good sense of when I ought to just catch Stan up in case he needs to randomly pop in later. And it does kind of set him up to just be kind of on his way and half-ass know what's going on. Because her plan nearly works. Like, the marriage does immediately age up the crone. And I love her reaction of like a Wizard of Oz style of like, no, and Evie's, haha, I did the math in your curse. You're no longer young and beautiful. But then I was actually caught off guard of like, oh, but why am I assuming that that'll kill her?
Right.
Because she just ducks down and comes back up as like a drag me to hell level like crone.
I do like that. Evie is very smart in this moment. I also was wondering, like, why didn't the old woman, like, now she's marrying Drinkwater, why she didn't at first turn back into her younger self,
right?
And then start to age. But, like...
At least, well, again, Leon's a sheriff, so...
Oh, yeah, that's true. I'm really amazed the curse even broke. I guess would it just be any employee of the county then?
I don't know.
You think?
Again, this curse is very vague.
Yes. It's what you got to... Man, specificity in curse contracts is a problem.
It's really important.
Yeah, so I do love that as she comes around in her Evil Dead moment, the old woman is snatched, her hands snatched away by Stan.
What the hell's going on here?
Coming in for the clinch, like, what great timing that Stan has here.
Tears the fucking arm off of her.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like goop pours out of the arm.
Oh shit! The hell's going on here?
Oh no!
Oh, you.
Well, but it doesn't get to him because you know why?
Didn't faze me. You know why? It's nothing bothers Stan Tuesday.
Nothing bothers Stan Tuesday. That is great. Like, what a great line. Some people have Taco Tuesday. Some people have even worrisome Wednesdays. But know what? It's nothing bothers Stan Tuesday.
Well, I'm starting to find myself more conscious in every scene of like, how drunk is Stan right now?
Like 100%.
Yes, I think it's always
driving,
teetering.
that's for sure.
Yeah. His energy bar is always like right before he goes to like super mode. Like he's teetering right before 100% all the time.
Yeah, and I love that their explanation as he finds them is that like, don't worry, we everything's fine. We found the murderer, but it's okay because Leon married her.
Yes. So I'm a widower?
Now, buck up there, Leon. There are plenty of other fish in the sea. Maybe none quite so old as her. But I don't judge. That's not true. I do judge. But not today. Everybody gets a pass.
Nothing bothers Stan Tuesday. So that is great. I think it was just a couple more lines here of just... I think the final line we go out on was Leon questioning, like, so that was your idea?
You think I was excited about tonight? Can you imagine what she looked like naked?
Oh, I can. I bet she looked like a pile of peppers.
Wow, okay. I'm leaving.
I have another one. I bet she looked like her own weight in raisins.
Goodbye.
A dolphin's blowhole surrounded by chicken fat.
Good night.
Tough crowd.
What does that even mean?
It's gross.
So gross.
Oh, God.
Oh, Stan's terrible. Like, again, how drunk is Stan?
Like, he should probably be arrested right now.
Yeah.
But that ends our episode, guys. That was the Eyes of Evie Barret, season 2, episode 5. Guys, it's surprising for me to say, but wow, what a solid Drinkwater episode.
So are they slowly turning Drinkwater? So are they turning Evie Drinkwater into Stan Denise? Because like Evie is a little bit proto Stan. Like you're kind of watching Evie's hard assness grow and her like oblivious like, oh, it's probably magic, but I don't really care. We're gonna punch it in the face.
Right.
And at the same time, like we're watching Drinkwater become more of like a surrealist character, similar to Denise, and less like straight up criminally skeevy.
What I think this is basically a one-off.
I really hope they stick with this characterization, but I haven't watched past it.
I mean, I think the reason we have it here is that I think the creators realize that it's going to be a Drinkwater episode. We need to make Drinkwater a little more likable. We need to punch it up a little bit more in order for people, because we can't... It's easy for us to be gross Drinkwater centric when he's only in like 1 or 2 scenes of the episode.
Yeah.
Because then it's just like, oh man...
It's in, it's out.
I don't necessarily want to see him smuggle Russian brides. Yeah.
That's that guy we love to hate, But in this episode, if he's going to focus so heavy in it, we kind of have to actually like him. So they start him off right off the bat as being, getting some of the funnier lines, and a
little bit more sympathetic of a slime ball.
Yeah, and he gets beat up by the bully pretty early in it, and there's just a lot of reasons to actually be on Drinkwater's side in this one. And I feel like that's just not going to happen in the next next episode.
So don't go get Team Drinkwater shirts made just yet.
I wouldn't put my money on it. I also think that Drinkwater has been very, he is a side character, but there have been some episodes where he has maybe had one line or not even featured at all. Mm-hmm. So I think this one was kind of like, hey, you know what? You're going to get your own episode, kind of like a, just like as probably a thank you to Nate Mooney or whatnot. Like, hey, you've been doing a great job as Drinkwater. It's kind of a thankless role when you think about it.
A little bit.
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing your job right, you're the most hated character on the show.
Yeah.
So I feel like this was kind of like a love letter to like, you know what? Nate Mooney is a really funny guy and a great actor. We should give him his time in the sun and time to shine.
Well, after this, because Drinkwater's fucking hilarious in this one, I kind of want a episode that's just Drinkwater, Denise, and Kevin doing like a side plot episode.
Yes.
Oh
like
man,
their
they killed
adventure.
the entire town.
They probably would, yeah.
They'd get everyone but themselves killed.
It'd be great if it was like an incredibly mundane thing they had to deal with, like if we just focused on the Crow car and they all dealt with that, and in the background of the episode, like occasionally like a building caught fire and like Stan ran past. What's going on over there? I don't worry about it. Crows.
Yeah, we have our own top secret mission or whatever.
Right.
That would be really funny. Man, I don't even know who to award most vile person of this episode. It feels wrong not to give the award.
I mean, I think it goes either to Stan for some of his lines or just the driver at the beginning.
He got the skeeviest lines, but I mean, then he got really killed for it. Like, I guess that's the award.
He got killed really early. Stan has the line about like, "Hey, you were asking for it," which is pretty gross.
That's a pretty gross line.
I guess it's Constable Eccles, maybe, but
man, he's not even in it though.
No,
like, he's just
but just as far as like the evilest thing done was probably that dude. But
right.
But yeah, I feel like maybe unfortunately, I think the driver might be our winner here. I'm really amazed that like Drinkwater usually just leaves the competition in the dust.
He cinches it usually the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, like there's no other character even close.
Well, if we went by just straight dialogue, there's some stuff in there that would make me go like, wait, you sent a child to the hospital? Yeah. But it's so funny.
That's
in the
true.
moment, it's so funny. It's so funny. Like, I can't, like...
Oh no, little lady, you won't be the first Well, and in her delivery of that line, I really wasn't sure if she was saying, you don't have to fight my pig-headed boyfriend, he's being a baby, like he's just being a child, or if she was saying, boyfriend, don't kill this man, he's clearly a large child.
Right.
Who cannot grow who can't grow sideburns, and for a moment I was like, is she just like looking at Drinkwater and like, honey, don't beat him up, he's clearly not okay.
There's something wrong with him.
He's probably just some big kid with a pituitary gland issue or something. Like,
right.
It's just
like Drinkwater's like 14, but with a pituitary issue.
Man, that might be the best explanation of Drinkwater I've ever heard. I gotta say I'm gonna give it to the driver. I think as well too. It feels wrong to give Drinkwater. Drinkwater gets the actual MVP of most valuable player in this one. Like he's 100% like my favorite part of this episode, and this episode itself is just really well written. The jokes in here are like the dialogue is snappy.
It's just going off a mile a minute.
Just it's really quick. We're in and we're out with these jokes. I love that we can afford the time to reference a Rock Hudson movie that no one will probably get that's under 30. So that because there's so many other jokes that people are going to get. So like, hey, why not throw one in there for the old people?
Though seriously, if you can find Lover Come Back, it's fucking hysterical. Basically,
how about Ice Station Zebra? Is that any good?
Ice Station Zebra's great. Yeah.
All right.
Well, I don't know if great's the word. Yeah.
But yeah, any other last minute thoughts, guys, before we wrap up this episode?
I just really hope the rest of the season is as solid as this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really was quite enjoyable. How about you, Les?
I can always use more Denise. Was it Deborah Baker Jr.? Is that
Deborah Baker Jr.? Yep.
She's amazing, and she can't be on the show enough. But I was so lucky to get this much Drinkwater that I hope they do more with his character, but I also hope they bring in bring in Denise more.
No, that is great. And speaking of bringing on people more, I'm glad we had the chance to bring on you for more of these, Les. It was great having you on once again.
Well, thanks for
especially
inviting me.
for this episode.
Yeah, no, when you messaged me of like you've got to watch this, and I'm like, all right, this is gonna be good. And sure enough, yeah, really great episode. I sat through the whole thing going, is there about to be like a time travel element? Why do I have to watch this one? On this one? And it's just because it's a fucking great episode. And I was like, oh, thanks.
No. We just need a third opinion. We want to make sure me and Travis weren't going crazy. Like, I think Drinkwater might be awesome.
No, he is spectacular, and like it speaks to how terrible he is in every. I mean, not terrible in terms of performance, but like morally awful, reprehensible. How reprehensible he is in every episode. That like this almost felt sweet enough to be out of character, and like looking at what he says and his lines and stuff, it's still not a great guy.
No,
but I mean,
again,
like
beating up children.
But like we've moved to like sketchy roommate from like skeevy van owner.
I mean, you don't have to put the skeevy in front of it. If you're a van over, the skeevy is implied.
It comes with a registration.
There's something, but yeah, you can't go to full size van. Minivan, fine. Apparently, you. Ironic, like if you have kids in a minivan, they're your kids.
If you have kids in another van,
if you have kids in a full size van, no one's own kids are in a full size van.
That's
boy,
amazing.
That is a great line to go out on.
That is A+ right there.
Les, would you like to give a your content, your information, your social media and stuff, so people can find you on the internet?
I mean, it's a van down by the river. No, I'm on the interwebs at thetvdudes.com and also thegoodDieYoungTV.com, which I'm excited. Stuff's starting to happen for season 2 on that.
Sweet, great. I'm looking forward to it as well as as anybody else. As well, if you want to follow us on our social media stuff, you can follow us on Pod Against Evil at Pod Against Evil on Twitter, or follow us on our Facebook page. And if you're on Twitter and Facebook, maybe give the Stand Against Evil fan club, just give them a shout out again. Follow them while you're there. Give them a like as well as us. And if you like the show, you want to ask us or get into contact with us in any way, you can just contact us via our email at I think it's still at podagainstevil@gmail.com. You can follow us there. Or if you want to check out our other shows or other podcasts, you can check out the UGO Network, which is the Unapologetic Geek Out podcast, as well as the Netflix and Kill podcast on our regular channel. It features, guests just as lovely as Les on there.
And sometimes for some actually
less. And it's a great time. So thanks for that. Subscribe to us on iTunes, all that good stuff. With that, let's wrap it up here, guys. And I think we're going to try and use our new catchphrase on this one, which is, may the owls abide.
It's ravens this episode.
May the crows don't abide drunk drivers, Travis.
They just don't abide.
They just don't abide. They don't abide anything.